Hi everyone, it's Mark here again, and this is the fun bit for me, which is where I get to meet some of our full members. And I'm joined today by Paula. Paula is a full member of the Arts and Culture Network and very kindly interviewed me recently. So do take a look at CanArtSaveUs when you get a chance. Wherever this appears, there'll be links below to Paula on LinkedIn and the website and other resources that you can get. So Paula, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's very novel for me to be in vision.
I know, and also on the receiving end of an interview rather than interviewing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I'm interviewing Michael Parkinson. It's and I love that mural, that pop-up you've got behind you. Is that a role?
Yeah, I just loved that image. When I was looking for an icon image when I started the podcast Cannot Save Us, it just really leapt out at me. I was just lucky, to find it. And especially when you're looking for a permission for everything use image. So yeah, it's been a real favorite ever since.
It's brilliant. I love it. Absolutely wonderful. So
Thank you.
That's brilliant. Okay, so why don't you tell everyone a little bit about the work that you do and where we can learn more?
Okay, thanks. So I am now the podcast producer and host of Cannot Save Us, and I publish in seasons. I've just published season 5. And it's an audio only podcast at the moment. And I interview international culturally diverse artists, many of whom are not only award-winning but world-leading, exceptionally proactive in their communities and hyper-aware of their roles and responsibilities around social justice. And I am doing this, I guess you could say, as an arts activist. It's an arts-based research podcast. So the interviews are very purposeful research interviews. And the activism, if you like, is to elevate the importance of the arts in terms of our mental, social, and democratic well-being. And what's prompted me to do that is because of the shocking level of cutbacks to the arts in the UK, including education. So it's activism to elevate the importance of the arts and to start new, wide and inclusive conversations about understanding the arts in a simple, ordinary and accessible way.
That's brilliant. And I must congratulate you because I think I've guested on quite a few podcasts, and I thoroughly enjoyed our interview. You were asking me some really quite probing questions in a lovely way. It wasn't as simple as it could have been. I think it was great. It's really
very
good.
kind of you to say that. I do put an awful lot of emphasis on research prior to any interview, obviously out of respect to the guest, but also because we don't need to just duplicate the same interviews. And I guess hopefully that relates back to the fact that it is purposeful research. So I have got very kind of clear lenses, if you like, in terms of how I want to talk about the life and work of the person I'm interviewing.
Yeah.
But as you say, I don't want to make it, academically terrifying. So I do aim for it to be conversational, but at the same time, have a chance in a supportive way to really explore the kinds of things my guest has been doing. So thank you again for taking part.
No, I loved it. It's great. And thank you. I think rigorous and vigorous I would use.
That's nice.
It was great, really good. It's interesting also that you mentioned about the cutbacks, and you and I have spoken about this before, the frustration that the arts and culture and creative industries in general are one of the fastest growing areas of the economy, yet
the contradictions.
Today, the autumn statement by the Chancellor, there was nothing in there for us that I could spot. Other than the tax breaks or the national insurance breaks for self-employed people, because many of us are self-employed in this industry. So it was frustrating. I know why a nation is so focused on manufacturing and engineering when there are it's our gig is innovation in the UK, but it's just frustrating that that's not recognized. So,
and the direct harm that results from that, socially and in terms of well-being, you know, the direct harm is unbelievably cruel, actually, to take away social spaces for people, you know, from youth clubs to architecturally designed arts venues. It's so astonishingly short-sighted, not only because, as you were saying, it's a sector that can actually boom, so, you know, enable to have that infrastructure for it, but the social harm, and of course the pandemic has really exposed that, you know, people having absolutely nowhere to go, you know, and soaring mental health rates, soaring domestic violence. There's a lot of cruelty involved, and as you were saying, why are we only focused on manufacturing, or especially the sciences, when it doesn't need to be divisive? The arts and the sciences are a happy marriage. And I think we said in our interview, you know, Einstein himself said imagination is more important than knowledge.
Yeah, and creativity is intellect having fun. Yeah. Well, so that's great, and congratulations on the work that you're doing, because it's important that we, as many of us as possible, shed light on those issues. So thank you. From the sector.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. It's really important to raise as many different diverse voices and perspectives as well. And I can't tell you how much I learn from every season. And it's so exciting. You know, you're talking, you know, I've just been interviewing a dance legend from South Africa who's legendary on the international stage, for example, or I talked to a world-leading architect from Syria, or a world-leading sculptor, and the social history and the conditions of their lives and what they've climbed out of. It's just an endlessly fascinating education. It really is.
Yeah, well, more power to you. And I think we were trying to get Joe, weren't we?
Come on, Joe.
Joe Cielo, isn't it?
Yeah, come on, Joe.
We want Joe is holding the purse strings of the government's money for arts and culture in Berlin.
Yeah.
With a budget at his disposal, which is larger, just for Berlin, which is larger than the whole of the Arts Council budget in England and Wales. So Joe, if you're watching, or if you know Joe, please put him.
Please. But I mean, it's the significance of what he's doing, because interestingly, his title equally includes social cohesion. So it's a complete recognition of what we were just saying about the importance of the arts and social well-being, if you like. And I've been involved in really interesting research in EU hybrid labs, where it's an absolute outright priority to support arts and culture. So yeah, come on, Joe.
Come on, Joe. And wasn't it, I think it was Winston Churchill who was criticised during World War II for maintaining the arts and culture budget during the Second World War. And when he was criticised, I think his reply was, "So what are we fighting for?"
Yeah, really good point. Yeah, really good point. Yeah.
Anyway, right. Now this is the fun bit that you are not ready for. I should point out to everybody that you've had very little warning, if any, very little warning about what we're going to do. So I'm going to create a vision of your perfect cultural year.
Brilliant.
Based on the answers to a few questions.
Okay.
So, I'll scribble them down as well. So are you ready?
Yes.
Good. It's fun. And after that, we'll play the this or that game, which is good fun as well.
All right.
So my first question, Paula, is, do you have a favorite building? And if so, why?
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, there are many, but there's a real sweetheart, which is the Rosary Chapel and it's in the south of France, and it's an unassuming, quiet, small chapel, but it was brought to life by the artist Matisse. And after he finished his design and artwork of the chapel, he actually died 3 years later, but it was one of his greatest achievements. And the reason I love it is, A, it's in this unassuming, quiet, small venue, and this giant of an artist arrived, and it's this beautiful interplay of really strong, vibrant colours, really pretty kind of strips of stained glass windows, and also very simple outlines of just simple black line outlines, creating images on the walls. It's really simple but really strong at the same time. So yeah, I think he hit the sweetheart spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and whereabouts in France is that, the Rosary Chapel?
I think it's pronounced Vaughan.
Okay.
I'll have to double check how they spell it. I think it's Vaune, or there might be something like that.
So for the purposes of my illustration of your perfect cultural year, I'd like you to imagine that you're sitting on a bench. Actually, no, let's put you in an outdoor cafe within sight of the Rosary Chapel.
Oh, lovely.
And it's June, it's warm and it's sunny.
Yeah.
And that's where you've chosen to sit because you can see the chapel.
Oh, lovely.
Okay. Now, on the table in front of you, there is a book.
Yeah.
What book is on the table in front of you?
Oh, there's many. I could go to a book that I've never forgotten, just because of the impact, but it's a little bit it's a bit of a tough read. It might not suit my beautiful setting, but the book I was thinking of, I don't know if you heard of Zimran. She was, or is, a journalist, and in the 1980s in China, she was working as a radio host. And it was at a time where, amazingly, clearance was given for her to do a series of interviews, which were really with women talking about stories and experiences through the Cultural Revolution. So unfortunately, you can imagine these are very harsh, grim stories, lots of violent gender oppression, but it's not, the purpose of it isn't just to kind of shock you with the violence. It was the importance of all of these women finally having a space to be able to speak and share those truths. It's harrowing and very emotional and kind of striking moments of compassion within it all.
Okay.
Maybe that would suit a chapel setting because of the peace and serenity that you wish had been wrapped around all of those women.
Okay. And so that was Zimran. How do you spell that?
Xinran.
Okay. And the name of the book? Do you remember?
Oh, The Good Women of China.
Okay. Right. So there you are, sitting in the June sunshine in the south of France, in Vaughan, and gazing over the top of your book at the Rosary Chapel. And the book is Good Women of China. Okay. And there's a drink on the table.
Oh.
And it's 4:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, what might I treat myself to? Well, having half lived in the south of France over the last 20 years, I to and fro. An afternoon apéro that I really would enjoy would be maybe Cointreau on ice.
Ooh.
Because that's quite nice and refreshing, that lovely orangey flavour. Yeah. It needs plenty of ice.
Yes, lots of ice. Okay, so there you are. Brilliant. Now, you're rather happy because you've just had news that your that a research institution has confirmed that they will fund a year of research into the cultural life in a different country from the one that you live in. Okay.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it must be a country that you've never lived in.
Yeah, I know what I'm choosing.
Yeah. So you had it's business class all the way, all expenses paid, a whole year, to report back on the differences between the standing of the arts and culture sector in that country compared to ours. And you'll be invited to come back and do a presentation. Where are you going?
I'm going to go, even though I want to fight you and have at least 5 different destinations in that year. all reflecting different guests I've spoken to, but I'm going to go to Syria.
Oh, okay. I've never been.
No, and I've never been, and that is inspired by one of my guests, Mara Al-Saborni, who is an architect. One of these outstanding thinkers with over 1 million, millions of views on her TED talk, etc. I was lucky enough to talk to her, but it was so inspiring because of course we know and think of Syria as war torn, and she also chose to remain in Syria when bombs were falling around literally where she lived with her husband and children. But what she really brought to life, and in her books, which are about belonging and building peace, is that Syria is a Mediterranean region. It's not this abstract desert in the Middle East. It's a Mediterranean region, and it's agricultural, which is kind of heartbreaking because, of course, all our images are dominated by war and destruction, and it's a green agricultural land. And then, of course, we were talking about the Islamic aesthetics and principles in city planning, in Islamic architecture, which was all about inclusion, and you would never go down the road of division and isolation, i.e. our tower blocks, even our kind of remote cul-de-sacs. She really brought to life this beautiful aesthetic and tradition of an inclusive, integrated society. And of course it's deep in arts and history, so I think that would make an outstanding research year, and she would be my first port of call in that research.
Brilliant. Well, she's going to welcome you.
Oh, well, fab. Okay. Fabulous. Gosh,
yes,
I wish this was true.
Oh, well, no, but before you touch down at the airport, you open an envelope, and you've been given instructions not to open it before you've left the country.
Have I been that good?
So you're on the plane on the way to Syria, and you open the envelope, and you're informed by the research institute that while you're studying the culture of Syria, they want to study you.
Oh, crikey.
And one of the things one of the conditions of your year is that you limit your consumption of music to one genre only for the whole year. And they want to see.
It could even be a deal breaker, Mark.
It could. You could be the first person who's got off that plane and come straight back.
In a tantrum. No, I won't. Not if I've got a year working with Mara Al-Saborni. So I've got to choose one genre.
One vertical genre or type of music for the whole year. You can have several different artists, but they've all got to be in the same genre.
I was kind of thinking, how much could I hoover up? I would definitely be in a tug of war between saying jazz or classical music.
Mm-hmm.
I might come down on jazz, but I'm quite interested in a trade-off
You're going to try and create some kind of hybrid of the
well, yeah, how about
orchestral
a
jazz.
broken piano instead?
A broken piano.
Yeah, well, that's because, and actually you'll know all about this. It would be such fun having a broken piano because in my imagination, Baloo from Jungle Book would obviously come and spend hours and hours and hours with me playing this broken piano, which would be more fun because it's broken.
Yeah.
So that would be my trade.
Right. Okay. You can have piano music with a broken
The
piano.
broken piano is a genre.
Yeah. Okay. It's so. What's the Winifred Atwell, was it, or the old piano? That kind of honky tonk sort of set.
Would that be like, in the cinema as the organist would rise, that
Also,
kind
yeah.
of, yeah.
Okay, so there you are with that's the genre of music. You cannot listen to anything other than broken piano music.
Right, as long as Baloo turns up.
All right. Now, what was the name of your host again? Sorry.
My host. Sorry, Maro El Saborni in Syria. Yeah.
Maro. Her name's
Mara, Marwa. That's the first name.
Mara. Okay, got it. Now, Mara has got an itinerary for your first week. And the first evening, she's going to take you to a dance performance.
Oh, wow.
Okay? And it's a rather magical itinerary in that you can choose anything, right? Wow. And she'll be able to arrange it for you. So do you have a favorite dancer, dance group, or dance style?
Well, I have to say at the moment, and this is heavily biased by my current season, but and again, there's two of them, but I have just interviewed a legend, Gregory Makoma. He was born in South Africa. He was nearly 20 before Nelson Mandela was sworn in. So his dance life is just astonishing, really, that he even found a way of making it possible. But he really is a giant in terms of how his dance tells stories, how it reclaims African history, the compassion involved. But what's really difficult is I also interviewed Musa Mota in this series. I don't know if you might have caught Musa Mota because he was a finalist on Britain's Got Talent. And so even if, like I don't regularly see those series, but the headlines were everywhere. He had a leg amputated when he was 11 because of cancer. And he is truly an outstanding dancer. And Gregory is his mentor because a few years after the amputation, he eventually auditioned and joined Gregory's Vianney Dance Theatre. And they are totally astonishing dancers. They really are.
Yeah. Okay. So you can have a double header.
Oh, can I? Oh, well, just brilliant. That's just totally brilliant. Thank you.
Gregory in the first half and
yeah, brilliant.
So there you go. and Mara's with you and suggested that you go out for something to eat after the show. And you can choose the cuisine.
Wow.
What do you
Thai, please.
Thai, love it. So this is the story I'm generating for you. It's great, isn't it?
It is.
So you've gone from the Rosary Chapel in the south.
I'm sure I haven't spelt that right. I'll have to check it for you.
Okay, and then you're now in Syria with some of your heroes, and this is the week of your induction. So then the next day, just to bring the changes a bit, a friend of Mara's wants to take you to a sporting event. And again, you can choose that, as you've taught me today, Syria is not what most people assume it to be. So you can choose any sport that you'd like to watch on Saturday afternoon. What will you choose?
So I have least to do with the sporting world, but the one thing that really fascinates me is the Blade Runners in the Paralympics. I just find it absolutely fascinating, the kind of aerodynamics and the design. I think even visually, it's an artistic vision, and the speed is phenomenal. And I've always thought, actually, if I was to choose a sport event, I'd love to see it in person and not just on the screen.
Okay, you can have that. I'm just drawing it on my pad here. There's a wonderful TED talk by a lady. I can't remember her name. You may have seen it, but she's a double amputee below the knee, and she's got a whole collection of legs.
Amazing.
And if she's going on a date, she can adjust her height.
Oh, that's hilarious.
As she said, it's great. If I want to be a little bit more power posy, I can put the higher.
That's really funny.
It's a great TED talk if you can find it.
Yeah, I must look that up. That sounds really good fun.
And she talks about the reaction to her amputee status of children and adults in different circumstances. So, and she had some beautiful ones carved. They're like sort of the shape of a high-heeled leather boot, but they're mahogany.
Wow.
You know, so she can. It's a fashion statement as well as a necessity.
Yeah.
I love the fact that she can change her height.
And all these artistic games.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing.
Okay, good. So you've enjoyed your sporting afternoon. Now, Mara's back, and she's taking you to a new digital gallery in Syria. What's the capital? What's the capital of Syria? I can't remember.
Well, Mara lives in Homs.
In Homs. Okay, you'll be in Homs then. And there's a new gallery that's opened, and it's got a mixture of digital and actual art on its walls. And they've created a scenario in which it's an immersive experience. You can choose any single visual artist. And the walls will be filled with all of their work in chronological order. So you can walk through this gallery along the lifeline of a visual artist, soaking up the changes in their style, the influences at various stages in their professional lives. But you can only choose one visual artist.
Oh God, you're so spiteful. Although you did give me a double header with the dancers.
I did.
Oh wow, that is so hard. This is worse than Sophie's Choice, isn't it?
I mean, it's a wonderful thing to do, but it's bittersweet because it's a wonderful thing to be able to do. Literally, press the buttons on the side of the wall, and you go, and then there's the life work of your favorite visual artist. But you can only choose one, I'm afraid.
Yeah, and there's just too many. There's just too many. But I kind of feel like, being in the business of elevating the arts and everybody, you know, knocking out the elitism of the arts, and I could easily choose Basil Watson. He's such an amazing sculptor, and his father was an artist, and they broke all sorts of barriers. Oh dear me. But I'm thinking of a real underdog, if you like, a French artist called Seraphine, who was kind of discovered around World War One. And so she's like a really sad, very poor, downtrodden figure. She worked as a housekeeper, land work, very remote, sad, and incredibly hardworking figure. And yet at night, she is this astonishing artist, and her paint is the dirt from the land and the pig's blood and whatever was available in relation to her work. She was creating colours and pigments and things. And she then creates the most astonishingly huge floral paintings, and they are literally astonishing. and some kind of art collector kind of discovers her. And you know, it's very complex. There's a lot of mental health distress. It was World War One. There was some kind of comfort and success, but ultimately very difficult and sad story. But I would love to elevate someone like her in this incredible immersive experience. It would be as exciting as a Van Gogh immersive experience, and he would be easily another choice, but also because I really kind of question the term naive art, and and she's slammed into this category of being a naive artist, and I just think she was an incredible artist. So yeah, knock out the elitism and elevate her.
Excellent. How do you spell that? Is it
I think that would be Serapine, and there's an accent on the last E.
Okay, so it could be Serafine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure Google will tell us.
There was a film actually made on her.
Okay, so that's good. You've enjoyed that. You've done her life in art. Now, and to lighten the mood a little, the next evening is going to be your favorite play or musical.
Oh, well, actually, to lighten the mood, I might go back to a really nice memory. It's a few years ago, and I took my mum to see Singing in the Rain, South Bank, London. And the reason I really loved it was just so sweet how they recreated actual rain on the stage. And those cute raincoats and galoshes and that kind of 50s style look. And they were all of the dancers were in this circle, and the stage actually moved and rain came down. And it was just very, very sweet. I've never forgotten that.
Lovely. At the risk of ruining that memory, I once played in the orchestra for a production of a performance of Singing in the Rain in Birmingham, at the Hippodrome in Birmingham, with Tommy Steele in the lead role.
Oh, fab!
And it rained on stage there too.
Oh, lovely!
And they have these wonderful, huge, great big tanks of water above the stage to make it work.
Amazing.
It was notoriously difficult and somewhat unpleasant at times.
Oh, really?
So the rumor had it wasn't just water in those tanks. I couldn't possibly comment, but the stagehands had a field day. They really did. Excellent. Okay. And the next night is the Magical Cinema with any film you want.
Oh, crikey. Well, we could seriously lighten the mood and go for Jungle Book, because I do love Baloo.
Yeah,
I could lighten the mood, because otherwise I'd go to World Cinema, which I love, and all sorts of heartbreaking French independent cinema full of compassion and agonizing heartbreak. But I'm going to lighten the mood, and it's Jungle Book.
Okay, you can have Jungle Book. That's fantastic. Now, the last question for this section, having done all of that and painted the picture of your perfect cultural year, there you are in Syria for a year. It's great. But back to the present, with the exception of me, who was the last person to make you laugh?
Oh, make me laugh. Without it being like a outright comedian, I suppose actually I might go to film and to Mike Lee, because funny enough, I recently rewatched, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but have you ever seen Secrets and Lies?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, it's such a fabulous film. It's a fabulous film, and I rewatched it recently, and actually it is a lovely laugh out loud moment. And it's when Brenda Blethyn, who's playing the mum, and a daughter who is of Black heritage comes to find her because she'd been adopted, and Brenda, her character as the mum, had no idea the baby was adopted and whisked away. It was one of those tragic, she wanted the baby and wasn't allowed to keep her in the 60s or something like that. And it's this, the actresses are astonishing side by side, and this moment of realization, it's really lovely, and it's very, very funny at the same time, because Brenda is just such a sweetheart and she's falling over herself with kind of shock and joy at the same time, and that's what's so amusing about it.
Love that. Yes, you can have
yes, I guess we could attribute it to maybe Mike Leigh, the director, or to the actresses themselves.
Yeah, excellent. Love it. Thank you so much. That was your perfect cultural.
Yeah, thanks. It just sounds great,
doesn't it? I should set up a travel agency and
you really should. It's going to be popular.
One of the many things on my to-do list was to set up what was it? The Arts Club.
Yeah.
And the idea was that you would pay, I don't know, somewhere between £500 and £1,000 per year. And every month you get sent 2 tickets to an event, but you can't choose what it is.
Oh, right.
So, because I think one of the things that makes us a nation of culturally aware non-attenders is the baffling level of choice out there. So it could be a poetry reading, it could be a big band playing in a pub on a Sunday, it could be a West End musical, it could be, and
that's totally up my street, because of course 2 of the lenses my podcast interviews through is courage and curiosity, and in terms of cultivating curiosity as an important quality in order to remain open, to have the surprises and not necessarily choose, or to have something that you wouldn't normally choose but go anyway, is such a healthy activity. So
I love that. I have a habit that drives my family crazy. I never choose what to eat when I go to a restaurant. I ask somebody else to choose for me, because I want to try something that I'm not instinctively drawn to. So
good. Healthy openness. Be curious.
Right, we're going to do the this and that game now quickly. This is more about pace and speed.
Okay.
And instinctive answers. I'm going to give you 2 options and you have to choose one several times. Okay. We don't need explanations. It's just a real snapshot of which way you would tend to.
All right, yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Tea or coffee, Paula?
Coffee.
Radio or television?
Radio.
High heels or trainers?
Trainers.
Car or motorcycle?
Oh, car, only because I'm too scared of a motorbike. But I want to say motorbike.
Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Concert hall or sports stadium?
Concert hall.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Test the water or dive in at the deep end?
Dive.
Orange juice, bits or no bits?
Bits.
Library or museum?
Oh, spiteful. You're so spiteful. Oh. I'm going to say library. I'm going to say a museum that happens to have a library inside it.
You're cheeky. A museum about libraries. There we go. Beethoven or Mozart?
I think Mozart. I think he's quite stroppy. I might investigate that.
Okay. Shower or bath?
Shower.
I don't do this one very often, but I think you'll like it. Comedian in a serious film or a serious actor in a comedy film?
Interesting.
So that was comedian in a serious film.
I'm going to go with comedian in the serious film.
Okay, rather than a serious actor in a comedy film. Okay.
Yeah.
Cooking or being cooked for?
That could change kind of daily, but I think I'll say being cooked for.
Fiction or non-fiction?
Oh, Kind of either, really. I'll say non-fiction.
Sand or snow?
Sand.
Shopping online or in store?
Pass. I can't stand shopping.
Reggae or salsa?
Oh, I'll go for reggae.
Indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
Android or iPhone?
Android.
Start immediately or wait until the last minute?
Get on with it. Start.
Science or history?
History.
New York or Los Angeles?
New York.
Circle or square?
Circle.
Early morning or early hours?
Early morning or early hours?
Yeah.
Oh, as in like late night.
Are you yeah.
I used to be late night, but I'm going to go for early morning.
Well, I should change that to early bird or night owl, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Plan it or wing it?
Planet.
Bedroom door open or closed?
Closed.
Loo roll over or under?
You are the chief exec of the Arts and Culture Network, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
You are who you say you are.
I am, yes, but you can be forgiven for doubting me.
Over.
Over, okay. My family's always been an under. Okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah, but until I was in a pub once, and one of the images in the gents was the patent diagram of the loo roll, and it clearly comes over.
Over.
Zombies or vampires?
Vampires.
Red or white wine?
Oh, changes, but let's say red.
Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Numbers or words?
Words.
Rare or well done?
Well done.
Mild or spicy?
Mild.
Opera or chamber music?
Oh. Oh. Oh, I'll say opera.
Whiskey or rum?
Whiskey.
North or South London?
South.
Gold or silver?
Silver.
Mountains or beaches?
Mountains.
Sweet or savory snacks?
Savoury.
Traveling or staying at home?
Oh, both really. I'll say traveling.
Monet or Van Gogh?
Van Gogh.
Abstract or realistic art?
Abstract.
Sculpture or ceramics?
Oh God, that is a nightmare question. That is I have to fight you for the to the death on that one. Oh, both. Oh wow, that's really spiteful. I'll say sculpture, but I'm not happy about it.
Contemporary or classical art?
Both really. I'll say classical.
Impressionism or cubism?
Impressionism.
Matisse or Kandinsky?
Oh, interesting. I do like, well, I'll say Matisse. I do like Kandinsky until I read how awful he was to the women in his life. So Matisse.
Black and white or colour photography?
Black and white.
Ballet, classical ballet or contemporary dance?
I had classical before. I'll go for contemporary dance.
Okay. Shakespeare or Chekhov?
Chekhov.
And Jane Austen or Charles Dickens?
Jane Austen.
Hemingway or Fitzgerald?
Hemingway.
Mystery or romance novels?
Mystery.
And finally, see the future or change the past?
Change the past.
That was good fun. Thank you
It
for
really
doing
was. Is this one of those things though where you say, and now we've worked out that you're this type of personality or something?
I could send this to a psychologist, couldn't I?
Yeah. And have me sectioned.
Yeah. I think it's so interesting. I mean, I ask, obviously I mix the questions up a bit sometimes, but some people are very much like me, and others aren't. I'm not a well out. I'm a rare state person.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? I can't remember. I am a night owl. So
Mm.
Paula, thank you so much. That was great fun. Wherever this appears, this will be transcribed as well, which will be fun.
Okay.
Wherever this appears, there'll be links to everything more about you and Can Art Save Us and the podcast episodes. And if this has been a great pleasure, and thank you so much for being one of our full members. I hope
Oh no, bless you. It's been really, really good fun. It's nice to be playful as well, isn't it? And thank you for everything you're doing, because I think it's a really vital network. So thank you too. It's been a pleasure. It's been really good fun. It's good to play.
it is good to play. Einstein taught us that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Paula.
All right. Thank you, Mark.